Cabbage Comforters. Alright, we got something new tonight for you. We're going to do sausage with vegetables and egg noodles. So, little medium egg noodles. Set these off to the side and get started with the vegetables first. So, I'll do the hard ones. Then we got to get started cooking. The interesting thing with this one is because the Polish sausage or smoked sausage is already cooked. The main cooking is going to be done using a small head of cabbage and also using cooking up the onion. So not going to be as much with the meat. A little bit of prep time on this one. Not a whole lot. Not too terribly bad. Got your Cabbage here. So the first thing we're going to do is go ahead and cut into this bad boy and cut it in half so we can get the core out of it. There we go. So yeah, so the thing you want to do is you want to get rid of this core that's up in here. Get that cut out. You don't want that in there. It is not going to make your meal a whole lot of fun. So what I do is I just cut around it. So, and then you go back, and once you cut these two out, it gets two sides out, wings out, whatever you want to call it. Makes it easier to go back in here and just cut that core out so you get as much of the cabbage to use as possible. So we'll set this little bad boy over here, and with this, you just want some small pieces of cabbage, not too big, enough to blend in with everything. And you get to set it over here, out the way, and we're going to do the same over here. And again, this is not an overly difficult one. Like I said, there's a little bit of prep involved with it, but there we go. Best part of this is, hey, you get this set, green leaves, and it's a real easy one to heat up once you get the veggies going. If you don't like the cabbage, you don't have to use cabbage. You can use other stuff, pardon the phone ringing. So ignore that. So, and we'll deal with that a little bit later. So, get this stem out of there. There we go. So, yeah, I tell you, family is kind of funny. They know exactly when you are in the midst of something, when to call. I'll take a break here in a little bit and I'll give him a call back so he doesn't think we're ignoring him. Mama is indisposed at the moment, so otherwise she would have grabbed it. So it was sitting in there. That cut down, that cut, woo, almost got a fingertip. So, already got the thumb once. Big Red and I have a unique relationship. We've agreed that he won't cut me anymore, and I won't bad talk about him anymore. So, first day I got this knife, I learned what karma was. I was warning Misty not to play with this one because it was real sharp, because she has a tendency to CUT herself when she's working in the kitchen. And lo and behold, not as soon as I said that, I went straight down through my thumb here. I don't know if you can see that. Flipped the top of this thumb off. Not quite off, but flipped it open. And therein began a trip to the emergency room. So, yeah, ever since then, Big Red and I here have had this nice little relationship where he don't bother me and I don't bother him. We work together and that's fine. So, you know, sometimes you gotta make deals with the kitchen equipment in order to get what you got to get done. And I think I may need a second onion on this one. I thought this one was a good size, but she looks a little on the small side. And speaking of the missus, here she comes back in. I think she was going to ask me who was on the phone. She's going to look at the caller ID and know exactly who that was. So, got slightly bigger pieces than what you've seen me cut on some of the other stuff, because this one needs to be a little bit larger to pair off properly with that cabbage. Listen carefully, you may get a little giggle out of Misty tonight. I mixed her up a nice tequila sunrise. She hadn't had one of those for a little bit. So she's a little happy tonight. Looking at this, you know, doggone it, I think I do want. There's another small onion over here. We're going to grab that puppy. Oh. I promised Misty I wasn't going to do any carrots on this one because they cook up even the shreds a little bit harder than she's liking right now. So try and keep Mama happy. And those of you gents who are married know the rule. If Mama ain't happy, the house ain't happy. So keep your ladies happy, cook well for them, and you have a good, happy relationship. Well, yeah, talk with them too. So, watch out for the ones that don't talk. Those quiet ones. They scare me. Alright, there we go. Chop-a-roo, chop-a-roo. Out you go. To the electric fryer they go. Look at that. Now, I'll tell you what, just for the hell of it, and since we are big fans of garlic, I'm going to take a little squeezed garlic and smack down in there too. Just a little bit. Alright, maybe one squeeze more. Whoop. Look at me make a mess. Okay, so that is it. We'll put a little salt and pepper in these bad boys. Remember my showing you from before. A little salt. Help the cabbage get going. A little pepper. Not much. Come on out there. There we go. A little more salt, what the heck. Alright. Dump this on in. Whew. Smell like garlic already. And get plugged up. And we'll start this cooking. A little leftover beef stock from the one of the last ones I did, and we're going to mix that in with a little bit of vegetable broth, and that's what we're going to cook the onion and the cabbage down in, and get that going over here. I'll show you that in a minute. All right. Get that going, but meantime we're going to get back over here and chop up these medallions. The other reason we need the broth is we go back in and add the egg noodles. I'm going to add that directly to everything, and the egg noodles are going to suck up a lot of that juice. And get going here. There we go. All right. Broth, a hole. The next thing we're going to do is you can either wash this out or you can swap it out for another one. Never do veggies and meat together on the same cutting board without washing them up. You will cross-contaminate, and I'll tell you what, you are not like what that does to your belly. Not as big an issue when you have cooked meat, but still not a whole lot of fun. And then I got to get the lid here for the electric frying pan. That's one thing we didn't get taken care of, so I'll get that in a minute. So, meantime, I'm going to dry this up. Started cutting the medallions up real quick. And as soon as we get that going, we'll be back and show you some more. Alright guys, so you can see here we got the cabbage and the onions in the electric frying pan. It's getting started up. Once that gets all heated up, that'll cook away while we are doing the medallions for the sausage. So I'll have that next. Okay, so here we go with the medallions for the sausages. Nothing real complicated. Oh, we got 3 Polish sausages here. Open up the bag. Again, this is not anything that's really special, crazy, difficult, or anything else. I'm going to save these peppers because those are going to go in last, so that we don't cook them down to something that is not usable. Let's just turn around and cut. Now, where it goes around the corners like that, you're going to have to kind of cut something that's a little bit more than a medallion on one side. It's thin on one side, thicker on the other. I don't know if you can see it, but the girls over here smelled the sausage. They think, sorry for you ladies, that they are in for a T-R-E-A-T, and yeah, we got to spell it, because if you don't, they know exactly what you're saying, and you will start hearing all kinds of fussing about stuff. So, yeah, sorry ladies, this is human consumption, not for puppies. I will get you dinner as soon as I get this off into the frying pan with the cabbage and everything else. But for now, you are just going to have to be patient and wait. So and not terribly difficult with anything. Once you cut it up, pop it on off in here. Like I said, this is fully cooked, so you don't have to put it in until towards the very end. You want to have it in for a little bit so you get all the flavors to blend together and fold into each other, but this is not one of those things that you have to cook. You just have to kind of warm it up. I do another version of this that is done with maple syrup and fruit instead of veggies. And maybe we'll get that one somewhere in the not too distant future. I like that more in the winter time, especially around breakfast, because it goes well with pancakes. Maple syrup for pancakes. I tell you what, I'll save you to a little end here for later. for now, sit there and be patient. Be good girls. Let Dad finish what he's doing here. Yeah. So we got this. Going. Okay. There we go. Ends and yeah. We'll do the third one. What the heck? We'll have a little leftovers for later. That's fine. It's not too much there. You'll notice Misty and I cook larger batches. We do this typically so that I have lunches for later in the week. What we'll do is we'll freeze our leftovers, put labels on it, and most of what we do is freezable, and set it up for me for lunches for later in the week when I'm in the office. And that way you get a slightly more healthy lunch than you do going out to fast food. Plus doesn't quite cost as much. And you know, if you have one of those nights where you just don't feel like cooking, all you gotta do is go to the freezer, choose a meal, pop it out. It's kind of like having, going and doing those freezer meals. Wouldn't exactly call lean cuisines, but it's another way that you can take the meals that you make and stretch them out, and stretch out your grocery budget a little bit too. So, good stuff to do, good stuff to do. Whoop. All right, so that's our sausage, and we'll just wait until that's ready to be thrown in and good to go. All right, campers, we got the got the cabbage and onions going pretty good. The medallions all sliced up, so I thought I'd come over here. We'll do the peppers up real quick and get those set aside. Again, we want to add them at the end, but we don't want to add them too early, so it's all and limp. Limp biscuit's a good group, but limp pepper is not a good food. So you don't want your pepper so mushy that it falls apart in your mouth, just like cream of wheat, don't you know? That's a good thing. Cut out the little fuzz ribs. I never took a cooking course in my life, so I don't know what the proper names are for some of this stuff. His name is, your name is Emerald or Ramsey. Don't yell at me because I don't know the names on everything. This is not about being a chef. This is about doing stuff for folks in their own house, so that you can have some easy comfort food. Yeah, it's stuff that tastes good. It's good for you, by and large. Great. Some of the comfort food is probably not the most healthy for you, but you know what? That's why we call it comfort food. It's something we go to when we get an urge or a feeling. And you know what? That's okay. That's what that is for. So, get the reds. I notice I'm cutting bigger pieces than I did on some of the others. And that's just because you want to I like to vary texture, I like to vary size. Sometimes it's a lot of fun to get bites in there that are, one bite's more of a meat, one bite's more of a noodle, one bite's more of a cabbage, one bite's more of a green pepper. That way you just never really know exactly what you're going to do. It's one of the ways you make food fun, Food doesn't have to be boring, it doesn't have to be exact, it doesn't have to be specific. Lord knows, if you are working an 8-9 hour day, you get home and you got to cook for your family, you don't want to be cooking for hours and doing hours worth of prep work. And given that you probably don't have a sous chef or whatever the hell they call the prep chefs to prep up stuff for you while you're at work, you got to do it yourself. So, a whole lot of people who have the energy at the end of the day for doing wild and crazy stuff. And that's why I try and make these something that's relatively easy. There are a few that take a little more prep than others. That's okay. We save those for the weekends mostly because that's, for those of you with kids, that's when you get to do that thing that we grew up with, which was, hey, guess what? The kitchen was the center of the house. It's where you teach your kids to cook. It's where we learn to cook with our parents. Ooh, just about stuck myself there. Knife went through the green pepper. Ouchie. But that's one of the things we've fallen out of touch with. We have people, kids that come to the table with electronics turned on. And a lot of us have rules about no electronics at the table. And the kids will still try and sneak it in there. Hey, come on, admit it. We snuck stuff around on our parents. Or we thought we did, just like the kids think that they're sneaking stuff in on us. Guess what, guys? Mom and Dad did it too, so we know all about the little tricks. Because guess what? We did them. We did them, we did them, we did them. All right, we'll do one more thing here. I'm going to toss in a little roasted garlic and herb on with this. And I'm just going to put some in over top and in with the peppers. Not a whole lot. You want to give it some kind of flavor. And the other thing I'm going to do, which we've talked about, is with the medallions. I guess I ought to do this before I do it. Is we're going to put a little beef bouillon in with that. Add some extra flavor because nothing worse than making a meal that's got no damn flavor to it. Now, some people will tell you that's the wrong approach and tell you that that's not right. I do not happen to be one of those people. I believe that when you bite into something, when you have a meal, that meal should take you on a bit of a flavor journey. It should be, I don't want to say adventurous, but dare I say adventurous. Just stirring up the cabbage and onions real quick. I think we're about ready. Let me get one of these thicker pieces out here and test it. See how tender we are on this. And if we're good to go, we can add the noodles. See, kind of cooked. Yep. We're good to go. By the time this all gets cooked, those will be set. They're not going to be too thin. Things will be good. First thing we want to do is add the peppers. And extra little bit of garlic in there. And herbs. stir that in. And we'll give that about a half a minute to cook in. And I notice I'm a little shy on liquid at this point. So, I'm going to add in, maybe a cup or two of water. So again, you don't want to do this so it's soggy, but since you are going to add the noodles to it, you got to get enough liquid in there so the noodles will cook and soften up. And another thing that sucks is biting into a crispy noodle that ain't supposed to be crispy. It's not relish doing that at all. So, get this all stirred together. I have to add a little more water to it, just to make sure. Again, make sure those noodles cook up. On the flip side, I'm going to put in those beef medallions now. Good Lord. Grand Central Station in here this evening. So, get the beef down over the top, sausage over the top of it. Alright, and some of the juices from the sausage are going to cook up into those veggies too. I'll take you over here and show you everything. Whoa, whoa, whoa. That is everything all in there. See if we can flip this bad boy up and give it a little stir so you can see what all we got here. So we got the veggies in, got the noodles in. I don't put too much of the noodles up on the top because we want to, like I said, have those soak up all the liquid here. And with this, you're going to have to kind of watch it now, because once those do soak up all the liquid, you're going to have to watch them so that they don't stick and burn. So, get right back over to Funland here. And get you set up again. No. And hopefully, we've added a new quasi-parabolic mic to the stand, and lifted things up a little bit and shifted it around, so hopefully you can see everything. We'll take a look and see how it came out and how things go. Mama did say she wanted to try and mix this one pepper in, but you know what? I'm a little worried that any kind of spice is going to upset her at the moment, because Mama doesn't do spices, so I think we're going to leave that, and I'll figure about cooking that in. Maybe have Sheriff cook it in with his fajitas tomorrow night. We'll see. So we're going to let this cook down a little bit more, and we'll show you finished product. All right, boys and girls, here we go. Final reveal time. Looky. Yeah, sorry about the shadows there. So we are good, and here we go. Cabbage and veggies and egg noodles. That's a decent comfort balanced meal right there. So you get some good stuff there. We're going to let that cool off. Let the make sure the noodles are all fully cooked through here for a little bit. Let it cool and rest for a minute, and then we will call everybody in and plate her on up. All right, ladies and gents, and here we are, plated up and ready to chow down. That's all there is to it. Wasn't anything terribly special. Prep-wise, a little bit of prep, a little bit of cooking, and a lot of yummy eats. Another good country comfort meal coming at you.